Greetings and salutations. This is YNB Collins of the Benchmark Podcast. Here at the Benchmark Podcast, we synthesize critical thinking and life experiences so we can find the answers and the solutions so we do better. However, Karl Marx, history repeats itself. First as tragedy, second as farce. I'm referring to the hot button topic out there, the Restrict Act. And I agree with Tulsi Gabbard that yes, this seems to be the Patriot Act 2.0. I am not a fan of this. Now, normally we don't speak on such hot button topics, but we have to speak on it for some easy and obvious reasons. Number one, it's too hot button to not discuss. And more importantly, it affects us because we are content creators. Everything we do is through the internet now. Pirate radio is no longer the means of communication. So as such, this is a concern. If you're a content creator, if you use e-commerce, basically if you exist in this century, you're going to have some sort of concern with this. And intern, make sure everything I email you get put in the show notes, all right? But yeah, we're going to include in the show notes the actual text of the act, who the co-sponsors are, and there's a great commentary by Tulsi Gabbard, which we agree with. And yes, I do believe this is Patriot Act 2.0. Number one, not just Ms. Gabbard's statements, but within the act itself, and yes, I have read the act at this point in time, Easter Sunday, the act references the Patriot Act. So it's building on what's already there. And that's kind of a frightening concept because wasn't a fan of that one either. I'm a fan of Captain America in Civil War, specifically the comics, not the movie. But the point that Captain America was trying to create is that I'm not afraid of accountability. I'm afraid of who gets to determine who the watchkeepers are, who are the gatekeepers, who are the people who tell me who the bad guys are, and then I have to go ahead and fight them, even though that might not be the case. And it's frightening to think we've come to that in reality. And I mean, we've already done it before, but who will guard the guards? And it frightens me and it scares me. I'm thinking of the easiest example, and if I read correctly, and if I'm inferring correctly, imagine your non-savvy relative, probably older, probably clicked the wrong email, might actually spread some malware, and if it's from a foreign adversary, you're now in cahoots because you made an accident. And if you check the actual act, sections 3, 10, 11, and 15. 3 is addressing the products, 10 is enforcement, 11 are penalties, and 15 is miscellaneous. It is completely possible you could be imprisoned for up to 20 years, fined up to $1 million, or have any of your assets that were used intentionally or not be subject to forfeiture and seizure. I don't like this. So my brothers and I, we're going to get in the studio. We're definitely going to go ahead and address this later, but keep your eye on this one, guys. This one might have far-reaching effects. I hope this gets shot down and we don't have to worry about it, but I have a feeling this was going to be the zombie of the new age. Regardless, it's closing time. This is YNB Collins signing off for the Benchmark Podcast. I hope you're all doing well.
Thank you for listening to the Benchmark Podcast, a product of Benchmark Media, LLC, where we always attempt to establish a positive benchmark. We would like to remind everyone that the views and opinions expressed are strictly the views and opinions of each individual, and those views do not reflect the stance of Benchmark Media. Any opinion stated is not to be construed as professional advice or help. Please contact a professional for any help you may require. We would like to thank all of our guests for today and also for contributions of our listening family. Remember to contact us at therealbenchmarkpodcast@gmail.com or www.therealbenchmarkpodcast.com. Or you can follow us on social media, Facebook, or Instagram. And if you'd like to be a friend of the show, you can donate to us on our PayPal.
You can give me a drink.
All rights reserved by Benchmark Media, LLC.